Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for February 2022. This is part one. There will be a part two down in the description down below, or it's actually in the pinned comment down below. And make sure to check that out after this one. But Aries, let's just see what is going on for you at this time. It's looking pretty good. You have the sun already coming up and the world. You kind of have cards wanting to like jump out all over the place. You have the Four Wands, the Magician. So definitely a very active time it looks like for you. But let's see. We'll take that as well. Why not? But Aries, let's see. You have this bag card, and this card says something important, such as a new job or a raise. I kind of feel like this is a desire, is to increase your bag. And there's no other way to say it, Aries. I don't care if you're looking to like literally make more money or if you're just looking to get something. It's funny, I almost see like Santa Claus in my head, you know, and you have the Six of Cups here as well. So it's like some of you could be hoping for like a gift. It's almost like, you know, just having the image of Santa Claus with his bag on his back popping into my head. It tells me that there's like something more specific maybe that you are looking for. The funny thing is I think you don't know what it is as well. It's like you want something, but it's like when you think about it, like whenever you received a gift, it's like sometimes maybe you receive a gift from someone, it's like wrapped, you know? It's like you don't know what's on the inside of the gift. So it's like I feel a very strong need for you to like get more specific about what you want. Look, like, do you know what's inside this bag, even though it says a raise or a promotion on the card? It's like, no, there could be money in there, but there could also be breadcrumbs in that bag as well. So I feel like it's for whatever reason, it's popping into my head that you need to be very specific about what you want. And if you don't know what you want, then it might be time to figure that out. People always say, I don't know what I want. I'm always like, well, I can't help you. You need to get specific and you need to figure that out, what you want. I think maybe the best advice to figuring out what you want is to just try things, literally. It's like, you know, I get a lot of comments from people that, you know, don't know what makes them happy and don't know like what they desire to have or don't know if they want love. And I'm always like, well, you know what? We just have to try it and we just have to figure it out. And, you know, trust me, I was there. I was like in a place in my life years ago where I like legitimately didn't know what would make me happy, like what I wanted to do with my life and all this other stuff. And, you know, like I said, it's a difficult place to be. I'm not discounting that at all. But I feel like I'm getting more specific, or at least attempting to get more specific about your desires, about what you truly want, would be very, very important for you. Even in this last row, again, it's like, if it could be anything. If you want love, then I would get specific on like what type of love that you desire to have, and then I would go from there. I'd start working backwards. So I do feel a lot of you need to do that. But I feel like there's gifts clearly. At the same time, having said all that, rambling on for like 20 minutes now, I would say that there are clearly gifts that are coming in for you just based off of the cards that we see here on the table. So in your first row, you have the World, the High Priestess, and the Sun. Again, more mystery with the High Priestess. You know, she has this veil behind her, and there are pomegranates on this veil right here. Pomegranates are the fruit of the underworld, so, you know, it kind of represents mystery or maybe needing to undergo a rebirth or a death experience to be able to have some sort of transition or change in your life. She also has no roof over her head here, and it kind of says that she has unlimited potential. So the problem with the High Priestess is unlimited potential. It's like you could create whatever the hell you want right now, but that's a lot, right? There's a lot of things that you could create, and maybe you don't realize that you have unlimited potential either. You also have the World here, and the World, that lady in the middle, she represents a sorceress, and she actually has the powers of the Magician, but she also has the powers of just being able to create her own reality through action as well. She's holding two wands. One wand is the wand from the Magician. The other wand is kind of creating through actions that she takes, maybe not manifesting, but just action here on Earth. So she's a truly perfectly integrated being. What I'm noticing here is that you also have the High Priestess, High Priestess, she is also truly integrated. She is a fully integrated being. Both of them are, both of these people in the tarot, they're actually like the only two in the tarot that are 100% integrated, meaning they are a collection of all the energy that exists. It's like a hard thing to wrap your head around, but even some people read the lady here on the world as an intersex being because, again, she represents a combination of all the energy that exists. So I feel like, number one, you don't realize how much power you have with these two cards coming up together, and I feel like you don't realize just what you're capable of accomplishing at this time either, Aries. So it's definitely time for you to take action, and I feel like it's time for you to get specific about what you want. Sometimes I think maybe if we've been giving to other people for too long, we can also get to a place where it's almost like we start to assume their identity. So it's like we feel like what they want is what we want. So there's something here about identity as well going on for you, Aries, and you kind of assuming your own identity and figuring out what that is. This is something that I believe has been going on for you for quite a long time. It's like it might sound strange, but it's like if YouTube has taught me anything, it's that, just like look at all the tarot channels, right, that exist. It's like a lot of them, a lot of us are very successful in our own right, but it's like, do any of us do things the same way? Pretty much no. It's like when you look at some of the other tarot channels, it's like some of them post randomly, some of them post at the same times, but all successful. And it's kind of like a weird thing. I was thinking about this the other day, where I was like, it's kind of interesting that they're all successful doing things. Like if I were to try something that like, Tyler from Tyler's Tarot, if I were to try what he does, I would fail completely, right? But he's successful with the way that he does things. And he's an Aries, so what up, Tyler, if you're watching this. But what I would say is it's interesting to me because it's like, I feel like that's what's going on here. Is that, like, I feel like it's saying, don't look at what anyone else is doing. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's really what I'm getting at here. I feel like what you do is going to work. Those are like the words that are popping into my head. Look, you have the sun. Are you kidding me? Ultimate success, abundance, childlike energy, happy energy coming in here with the sun. And just, the sun really encourages us to be more playful. And that's what you get here with the Six of Cups showing up in your reading as well. But again, I really feel this first row is kind of, number one, saying that your desire at this time is success and also maybe some gifts from the universe or some abundance in the form of finances. And I feel like you could be thinking about this quite a bit. But I also feel like maybe you're trying to figure out who you are at the same time. Very strange message, but I also like it. Next, you have this ink pot card. It says problems to be resolved. And I'll show you this right here. You can see that there's some ink that has spilt. I really feel like the problems are other people's problems here. It's interesting to me that the Ten of Wands isn't in your reading. I'm pretty sure that in some of the past readings that I've done for you, you've had the Ten of Wands quite a bit. And again, there's going to be a part 2 to this reading, and I'm sure the Ten of Wands will probably come up, maybe. But I kind of get that feeling here. In this row, you have the Seven of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Magician. It's like you want a new beginning. The Seven of Cups, again, is more confusion, not being sure exactly what you want. I think you do kind of know what you want, but maybe you're just looking at what goes along with the thing that you want. I know that's like a little bit of a tongue twister, but I'm going to give you some examples right now. It's like maybe you want a bunch of money, but you're like, I'm going to have to pay taxes. Maybe you want to get married, but maybe you're like, I'm going to have to live with a person. Nobody wants that, right? It's like nobody wants someone in their personal space. So it's like I feel like it's like you want something, but it's like there's also the other side of what you want. And I feel like these are the problems that need to be resolved. So there is like a little bit of the cleaning up of the vibration that needs to go on here, Aries, I believe, especially with that ink pot card. I feel like it's saying, well, maybe yeah, you do have to allow someone into your space, but when you find the person who you are okay with allowing into your space, then isn't that a sign from the universe that it's the right person? It's like sometimes I think we want love, but we start making these sacrifices where we allow someone to violate our oh-no-nos, as I like to call them, our bugaboos, right? It's like I don't let anyone cross those lines. I get rid of people with bad behavior right away, and as we should. I think if someone crosses those lines that we're not willing, where we just have an oh-no-no, and it's something we're not willing to accept, we should be moving on from the relationship. It's good for them, it's good for us, right? We're not wasting their time, they're not wasting ours. Goes both ways. So I feel that the Seven of Cups is like saying, if you don't know what you don't want, make sure to get clear on that. It's like maybe you're like, I think that's where you need to start. I think you need to look at what you kind of want, like maybe marriage or maybe money. And then I think you need to look at the things that you don't like about it at the same time. And I feel like you need to say to yourself, like, how can I how can I like these things that I don't like, right? Like paying taxes or, allowing someone into your personal space or whatever the case may be, whatever the problems are. I feel like you need to say, like, what level of this am I willing to tolerate and how can I find that? And I kind of feel like working backwards will be really important for you, not just this month, but pretty much for the rest of the year, Aries. I just see it in the astrology. You're not the only person that has had this message of working backwards, but I'm pretty sure I said the same exact thing to you in the middle of January as well. So it could be a really good time. I'll put the mid-January up down below as well, but it could be just a good time to work backwards, to just say like, okay, this is what I want, but I don't like this about whatever it is I want. And then I feel like you need to come up with like examples or ways that you can at least, deal with the energy or tolerate it. Or like what would some signs and symbols be? Like if you allow someone into your personal space, it's like maybe you want a person who's super clean. So it's like, you know what, I'm willing to allow someone into my personal space as long as they're also clean. So then just go find a clean person, right? Plain and simple. So I feel like there are easy solutions to these kind of issues that you have with certain things. Same thing with money. It's like maybe you don't like paying taxes, but you know what, maybe you need to say to yourself, you know what, I'm just going to become a billionaire and I'm just going to make so much that it doesn't matter how much I pay in taxes. It's just not going to matter to me, right? Or maybe you say, I'm going to move to Mars with Elon, as I love saying. And maybe there aren't taxes on Mars. I don't know. I haven't been there yet, right? So what I would say here is it's like there are solutions and I feel like you're going to have to discover them. And if anybody is going to discover them, it's you. Here you go. You have the Four of Wands and the Magician. Like literally there's a portal on the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands represents stepping through the middle here. Those people are having a celebration. So it's, a lot of people read it as a card of marriage, which it is, but it's really a card of celebration and freedom. And the Magician is a card of happiness, and it's a card of manifesting happiness. The reason I say that is because he has these flowers in front of him here, and the flowers kind of represent needing to focus on things that make you happy, needing to focus on things that bring joy into your life so that you can have success. And that's what I feel like is going on here with the Magician card. I feel like you need to really kind of like focus on things that bring you joy and happiness in your life so that you can have more. The Magician also says if there's anyone who can, again, kind of get around their oh no-nos at this time, it's probably you, Aries, with this energy. The Magician, as always, every single reading I do for you, there's some sort of symbolism of a major change or rebirth. You have the snake eating its own tail on the Magician. That's the Ouroboros, and it represents a major personal change or just changing who you are on a very deep level, which I feel like you could be doing at this time. At the end here, you have this dog card. This card says protection from a powerful friend. So if you're dealing with any issues or problems with people in your life, any authority figures, I feel like you are protected, as this card says. So I definitely like to see that. In this row, you have the Page of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Pentacles wanted to come up together. I kind of feel like this is what you're hoping for in a lot of ways, is this energy. It's like Queen of Wands could be your energy, and again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I don't attach gender to my cards. The King of Pentacles is a permanent energy. He is the card of like the way things have always been done. He represents permanent positive energy. He represents contentment in a certain way, but really he represents convention, which is the way things have always been done. But at the same time, it's kind of like an energy building a legacy, kind of like the Ten of Pentacles. Not as strong, not as good, but it's still there. I feel like my problem with the King of Pentacles is comfort. It's like if you're building or leaving a legacy, which could represent building a bunch of money in your life, it's like you shouldn't really be wishing to be comfortable, because it's like usually people who are able to build a legacy or who are very successful, it's like, I don't think it's a bad thing to push yourself outside of comfort zones and get stronger, right? So it's like those people are always looking for challenges because they're always looking to get stronger. And, again, I think there's a little bit of wiggle room here where it's like people always say to me that they want life to be easy. I'm like, really, you don't, because it's like easy isn't necessarily a good thing, right? It's like we should be hoping for maybe the strength to overcome our challenges. We should be hoping to become stronger. And that's what I feel like this part of the reading is saying. You also have the Page of Cups and the Six of Cups. The Page of Cups he's imagining that fish that's in the cup there, Aries. So it can represent your dream life, and you do have the Seven of Cups. I would say like the most important message here clearly is to get very clear about your life, not just love, not just business, but about everything. Like, what does your future life look like? Can you get clear on that? What are the things you're willing to allow into your life? What are the things that you're not willing to allow into your life? I would get very specific on that. Some of you, I feel like you just don't know, right? I feel like some of you don't really know like what you want in a certain way. It's like you can kind of see it. It's like, I think maybe on a very basic level, you can say to yourself, okay, I want $1 million. I think you need to say, but why? Like you need to start saying why after that. And I think once you get very specific, then you can attract it, right? It's like if we just say we want $1 million, the universe is great. But, you know, why? I think when you start telling yourself the story, the reason you need to ask why, by the way, from a law of attraction standpoint, is when you ask yourself why and you start living, then you start giving the reasons why, then you start living like your life as if you have the $1 million, right? If you say I want $1 million so that I can go start a dog rescue and start taking care of dogs because I love dogs, what are you doing? You're like creating energy. You're talking more about the things you want, and you're creating the energy. You're living it. It's like when we can get specific about things like that, and we can say, I want this money because, or I want this love because I want to start a family, and you get excited about it and you feel it, then you really attract things very quickly. That's what's going on here. Plain and simple. Very simple reading. Very straightforward. I love it. Amazing. And I feel like there are gifts coming in for you. 6 of Cups. So clearly, Aries, there's some sort of gift coming in, and we're going to figure out what that is in part 2, although I think I already know. You know, we've already talked about it. It's basically everything. But thank you for being here. Again, and part 2 is linked up in the pinned comment down below.